And we say good morning to you. Welcome aboard. We're live at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. I'm not Gary Taylor, but I guess I could be. I am Tom Taylor. There we go, Tom Taylor Sports Show. We thank you for being with us again on this. On this Thursday. It's going to be a great day, and we love being over here hanging out with the folks again. And it's going to be a wonderful day. It is a wonderful day. You got a full plate, obviously, of things going on. It's a busy, busy day. We've got, we're going to be joined by Carmichael, who's going to come by as he always does. Dave Angie, who we didn't get yesterday, he had a previous commitment, will be here today. I'm looking forward to talking to Angie from the Johnson City Press. Also, Andy Dietrich, of course, be with us, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet. The Andy Man's going to be here. Also, we'll be joined by Kristen Martin, who is with Internet Sales here at Champion Chevrolet. And also a brand new guest, very excited about this, Wendy McLaughlin from CASA in the golf tournament, the court-appointed special advocates, and so we're going to have her on as well. And so it's going to be a good show. And we thank you for being with us. Show number 571. They said it wouldn't work, and we're going strong again. And again, case in point, on this particular contest, we're up to 8 states. And so we would encourage you to get your name in the hat. We're going to give them away a week from tomorrow. Multiple winners to the UNOH 200, the Camping World Truck Series with Ben Kennedy back in to defend his crown from a year ago in that Chevrolet truck. Also in the Chevrolet, Eric Goodell, Bush's Beans 150 on the Wheeling Modified Tour. That'll be 13 days away. It's 2 weeks from yesterday, and so we're giving away tickets to you for those 2 races on the same day. It's a doubleheader. Then you see at the top of the screen the Food City 300, 25th anniversary, and Dale Jr.'s final run in the Xfinity Series, and we've got a bunch of interest on that particular race. So Food City 300, it's all good. And again, you'd want to put your name in the bucket. And how do you do it? One more time, very simple. Folks have been going in, TomTaylorSports.com/contest. And again, we'll announce the winners next Friday. There are multiple winners. You say, well, we're just giving away 1 pair of tickets. Oh, no, we're giving away lots of pairs of tickets. So we'll have those for you next week again. So feel free. We need your name, first name, last name, obviously the town and state that you're registering from, and an email address. So when you win, we can get a hold of you. It's just that easy. And so up to 8 states, and we appreciate that. Let's see if I can run them down for you. Obviously, Tennessee, West Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio, New York, Georgia, Virginia, and Kentucky. And so, again, it is a click away. We do not send your name onto a list. Obviously, I want you to know that. Some folks ask me about that. Nope, we don't do that. Once the contest is over, we destroy the names and the list, and it's done. So it's called shredding it. So it is what it is. Day number 3 of August the 3rd, we dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross unashamedly. It says, very simply, Psalms 118:24, I have made this day. Rejoice and be glad in it. Bing, where's the bell? Well, I forgot to get it out. So hit it. There we go. And so that is it. I have made this day, rejoice and be glad in it. Psalms 118:24. We have every reason to be glad. So you don't know what I'm going through. You're right, I don't. Before we go to the break, I want to tell you what happened to me 15, 20 years ago, if not longer. I guess when it happens is not important, but went to a Zig Ziglar, the late Zig Ziglar sales seminar in Asheville Civic Center across the mountain in Asheville, North Carolina. And so it was a whole arena full of, it was a sales rah-rah seminar type of program. So they passed around a piece of blank paper to everybody with the pencil and says, write down your top 3 problems. Don't put your name on it, just write down your top 3 problems. Okay, top 3 problems. Passed a big old white bucket, put it in there, folded up, put it in, no name. They took our bucket across the arena, brought their bucket over there, came back through and said, pass the bucket, so pull a piece of paper out and read the problems. And I thought, whew, I don't have problems compared to what whoever that person was over there put down their problems. Had a kid on drugs and going through a divorce, and his wife was cheating on him, and so it was like, whoa. So point of that is, I have made this day, rejoice and be glad in it. It could be better, but it could be worse. I've learned that in my 50 plus years here on planet Earth. Good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. We'll take a quick break. Coming up, Whitney's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. We also have due to hang with us if he has time. Greg Taylor, big event coming up tomorrow. We're going to be tonight, by the way, after this, we're going to rejoin you later on this evening live from the Putt Putt at St. Jude's Putt Putt in Kingsport on Stone Drive. We're going to walk around with the old cell phone, do a little Facebook Live, and talk to some folks as we're going to enjoy a great evening. The weather's going to be perfect. Again, raising a lot of money. Again, the St. Jude's Putt Putt tournament, everything is donated. as far as food. So you get over there and get you a hot dog or a hamburger platter. All that food's been donated. So everything you pay for said dinner is going to go right into the pot. There's a 50-50 pot whereby all the money goes in. 50, if we pull your name, you win half of it, and the other half goes to St. Jude's. There's tons of silent auction items. We got music setting on ready to go by Ivy Road and Benny Wilson and Asylum Suite. So everything cranks up to 5 o'clock to play putt-putt, and everybody can play putt-putt. $25 per person, $100 per team. Captain's choice. Again, registration 5. Tournament starts right around 6. And so it's tonight. It is the big event for St. Jude's, again, for the putt-putt. 90 kids in our region currently being treated and being served by the folks from St. Jude. So it does affect us here locally. You say, well, the hospital's in Memphis. I know. And the satellite hospital's here in Johnson City at Niswonger Children's Hospital. I know. And I don't have any kids involved in either one. Well, then you're lucky. We're all lucky if we don't have a child in these facilities, but there are folks that do, and so we want to help them. And so it's a great night to get out and play putt-putt, have fun. You'll see probably your cousins, your neighbors, your friends. This place will be packed tonight, to say the least. The putt-putt on Stone Drive in Kingsport. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll jump in and take a look at NASCAR. Lots of happening off of the track as they head to Watkins Glen, the road course this weekend, where Denny Hamlin's the defending champ of the race. He may not be there. There's a reason why. Also, Joey Logano, the defending champ of the Xfinity Series race, the Zippo 200 at the Glen. We'll talk about that. So we got our NASCAR segment coming up next. Also, a little bit later on, Major League Baseball. Pro football kicks it off tonight. The preseason begins. The Hall of Fame game tonight betwixt the Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. I love Bruce Arian, the head coach of the Cardinals, told his team the other day, said, if you play like beep, I'm going to treat you like beep. So there you go. He has kind of thrown down the gauntlet for his football team. He said, you play like that stuff out in the cow pasture, I'm going to treat you like that stuff out in the cow pasture. So he's kind of served notice. He's not happy with the direction of his football team in the preseason. Quick break. We will come back. We will talk NASCAR next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 571, originating and emanating today live from Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Andy joins us at the bottom of the hour. NASCAR segment next on show number 571 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short-track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us live again at Champion Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the state. Nobody sells more Chevys from Mountain City to Memphis than the folks right here. Case in point, Andy will be here in a few minutes. Check this out. Sonic LT's 25% off. Andy said, I'm kind of busy over here today, but we're going to come over and talk because it's hopping. Folks, they're wheeling and dealing and coming into Champion Chevrolet, and we'll talk to him coming up here in a few minutes. The Trax, $5,000 off the Trax. Check this out. Crew Cab LTZ Sport Package, $11,000 off this particular type truck. Crew Cab LTZ, the Sport Package. And so we'll let him tell you more about that coming up here in a few minutes. Again, he and dear friends, I love these guys. I tell you what, I'd go to war over Tim Copenhaver and Andy Dietrich. They're good peeps. And so we appreciate them very much, and we're glad we're here talking from their place. Of course, coming up 2 weeks from today, we'll start the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show right here in this showroom. Can't wait. Dave Onge, Joe Avento, Doug Fritz, Carmichael, Kevin Harmon. We got a whole team lined up and ready to go to bring you previews of all the big games in college and high school football for that week. East Tennessee State, Virginia Tech, Tennessee, the big games across the country. The Pickin' Panel is going to be co-hosted with myself and Dave Onge from the Johnson City Press. Can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun, and so we'll be ready for that 2 weeks from today right here, the maiden voyage, and already getting some buzz off of it, and we like that. And that would be, of course, the Champion Chevrolet, as we said, football preview show coming up 2 weeks from today right here. This is totally separate from what I'm doing here, the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So there she is. I'm going to tell her. So I like it. Kristen said, I've been slammed. That's what we want. That means business is good. So we'll have her coming up a little bit later on. All right, let's take a look at NASCAR. We'll get started. The defending champ of the race from a year ago on the road course of Watkins Glen in New York, where they'll be this weekend. The name of the race, of course, the title sponsor is the I Love New York 355 at the Glen. Denny Hamlin, the defending champ of the race, may not be there this week. Super sub Regan Smith may be called into duty again this weekend. Denny Hamlin on baby watch. How about that? Longtime girlfriend Jordan Fish nearing her due date. Hamlin has insurance in a couple of ways. First is if Fish goes into labor, Smith will drive his number 11, so no worries there. The second is, due to his win at New Hampshire earlier in the summer, he is in the playoff. He's in the chase for the championship. Regan Smith drove the number 43 Richard Petty Motorsports Ford and placed the injured Eric Amarola at Charlotte and Dover earlier this year. Previously subbed in for Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, Kurt Busch, and Kyle Larson. Hamlin won the race, as we said, at Watkins Glen last year. He is sixth in the driver's standings with 1 win, 7 top 5s, and 11 top 10s. He's having a heck of a year. Very quietly on the radar screen, Denny Hamlin putting together a strong season for Joe Gibbs Racing. He may miss the race on Sunday because of the impending arrival of his child with his longtime girlfriend, Jordan Fish. Kyle Busch goes for his second straight win. He became the 13th driver to punch his ticket to the playoffs by winning a race last weekend, of course, in Pocono. Number 18, Joe Gibbs Racing driver, going for his second straight win in Sunday's I Love New York 335 at the Glen in Watkins Glen, New York. Of course, Watkins Glen International is what it is known by. Busch has 2 wins there, 5 top 5s and 10 top 10s and 12 starts at the Central New York Road Course. Among active drivers, Kyle Busch has the top average running position. Sonoma winner Kevin Harvick will attempt the season sweep of the 2 Monster Energy road courses. He won at Sonoma earlier in the year, wants to come back and win at Watkins Glen. Harvick in 16 career starts at the Glen. Harvick has 1 win back in 2006. He has 3 top 5s, 8 top 10s, and an average finish right around 13 for the number 4 of Kevin Harvick. A.J. Allmendinger, road course maven, will attempt to capture spot in the playoffs with a win this weekend. He loves road courses. He notched his first ever win in the playoff spot that comes with it when he won the checker flag at the Glen back in 2014. A.J. Allmendinger will be one of the favorites this weekend. He has 1 victory, as we said, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and an average of right around 9 per race in 8 starts. So A.J. Allmendinger would leave only 2 playoff spots available through points. If he wins this weekend, he's one of the favorites at Watkins Glen, New York. Here's a guy that's up against it, Joey Logano. Here's a guy that, he's been synonymous with the chase. He is fighting for a playoff spot with 5 races left in the regular season. And so Logano won at Richmond, but his victory was encumbered, so it doesn't count for a playoff spot. See, they're caught up with him. He's currently 69 points behind Matt Kenseth for the final playoff spot and 52 points behind Clint Boyer. Watkins Glen could be the place where he clinches that spot. He won it in 2015. He's finished second to the New York track last season. And so time is running out for Joey Logano and the rest of the drivers. Only 5 races remain for winless drivers to capture one of the 3 remaining playoff spots, again, in NASCAR. And Martin Truex Jr., a young man who's done well at Watkins Glen. He has 3 top 5s, 6 top 10s, and a 13 average finish. So a lot of could-be's, a lot of favorites going into the race this weekend. But you'd have to look at Denny Hamlin and probably Kevin Harvick by virtue of winning Sonoma earlier in the year, and Denny Hamlin by winning the race earlier in the year. Winning the race last year at Watkins Glen. And, of course, Kyle Busch with his momentum, you would have to think those guys would be the up-front favorites along with A.J. Allmendinger to win this thing coming up again on Sunday at Watkins Glen, New York in central New York State. Again, we're back live at Champion Chevrolet. We are here on the Ball Cap Food City 300 coming up. We are T-minus, 15 days out? Yep, 2 weeks from tomorrow night. We'll be there for the Food City 300. Again, the 25th anniversary. Austin Dillon coming back into town in that Chevrolet. Chevrolet dominated the racing in the fall last year at Bristol Motor Speedway. Of course, we're sitting, obviously, the Chevrolet dealership, and Chevrolet is the official car manufacturer of Bristol Motor Speedway. I love me some bow tie. And so, again, Bush's Beans 150, Eric Goodell and the Chevrolet. The Camping World Truck Series UNOH 200, won by Ben Kennedy in a Chevrolet. The Food City 300 last fall, won by, as we said, Austin Dillon in a what? In a Chevrolet. And then on the Saturday night race, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race, won by Kevin Harvick in a, you guessed it, in a bow tie and a Chevrolet. So, good stuff. It's all coming up again. And so, again, go to that website, TomTaylorSports.com/contest, and we've got multiple winners coming up, and we'll give those away. All the winners will be announced next Friday. We'll be live right up the road at Food City in Piney Flats for our Food City Friday next Friday. More NASCAR news in the Xfinity Series. First of 3 road courses coming up for the Xfinity Series. They will be at Watkins Glen, Mid-Ohio, and Road America. Then a couple of short tracks, Bristol and Richmond, Egg-shaped Darlington, and then the Chicago Speedway to decide the 12 drivers who will make up the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Right now, if you looked in, the guys that are in the hunt right now, or actually the guys that are in, would be, let's see, Joey Logano looking to become the first driver in series history to win 3 consecutive races from the pole at Watkins Glen, which is pretty impressive. So, let's see, Logano's made, this is the Xfinity Series now. Logano's made 9 starts at Watkins Glen, posting 2 wins and 5 top 5. So, again, William Byron, Justin Allgaier, and Ryan Reed are the 3 title contenders with victories this season. Everything else is up for grabs. So basically, you got 3 winners and 9 spots to fill. Here are some of the guys juking for these points in the Xfinity Series. Veteran driver Elliott Sadler in the JR, or the Junior Motorsports Chevrolet. Brennan Poole, Daniel Hemrick in the RCR Chevrolet. Also Cole Custer racing the 00 for Stewart-Haas Racing. He's in the hunt. Matt Tiff, the number 19 ride of Joe Gibbs Toyota. Joe Gibbs Racing, Dakota Armstrong, Blake Cook, Michael Annett. All those guys are still on the outside looking in, but got a chance, and those are the front runners to nail down those other 9 spots. Need 12 to get to the chase, and so That's what we got going on there, so it's all good. Joe Gibbs Racing driver Ryan Priest, a NASCAR Next Program alum, drove the number 20 Toyota Camry to not only the pole but also the win at Iowa Speedway last weekend. And so, and then last but not least, before we go to the break, because we got Whitney in the house, the doubling down 8 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series regulars will be pulling double duty this weekend. Guys going to be in the Xfinity Series race will be Paul Menard, Ty Dillon, Joey Logano, who's the fave, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, and Eric Jones will be the guys that will be from the Cup Series over to the Xfinity Series coming up again this weekend. As we go to the break, here's your points leaders. First off, in the Cup Series, top 5, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski. In the Truck Series, Christopher Bell, Johnny Sauter, Christopher Bell, the new leader, by the way, Johnny Sauter, Chase Briscoe, Matt Crafton, and John Hunter Nemechek. And then in the Xfinity Series, you have your points leader currently Elliott Sadler, then William Byron, the 19-year-old phenom, Justin Allgaier, Brennan Poole, and Daniel Hemrick are your top 5 there. Quick break. We'll be right back. She's in the house. First-time guest. Can't wait. Great organization. CASA, court-appointed special advocates, golf tournament coming up we want you to know about. And she, Miss Whitney, joins us next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
We're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. Andy joins us coming up here in a few minutes. Let's get the cam turned around because we got to get her on the air. This young lady is rocking and rolling, ready to roll, and there she is. And let's bring her up and hit the magic button. She should be right here. Is it? Boom. It is. There she is. Whitney McLaughlin, again, the executive director of CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates for Children, CASA of Northeast Tennessee. And obviously, I want to welcome you aboard. First time being on the show. Hope you'll be a regular. And good morning to you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I thank her for coming by. It's a phenomenal cause. And Andy said, you need to get your papers out of the way. And I said, okay. So we'll tidy up the desk here a little bit. So anyway, for folks out there who have no clue, this is a very, very special program for a bunch of kids who deserve every bit of help they can get. So before we get into the golf tournament per se, kind of give us an overview. Tell folks what CASA is all about.
Well, like you said, we're court-appointed special advocates, and our role is to advocate for the abused and neglected children in our Tri-County area. We serve Washington, Greene, and Unicoi counties, and last year we served around 300 children and mobilized about 50 advocates to serve on their behalf in the juvenile courts.
How many kids?
300.
Unbelievable.
It's one of those give and takes. You know, we're glad that we have kids to serve, but at the same time, you hate having those many kids that need our services in this area.
Absolutely. And so this is an organization, when you sign up to play in this golf tournament coming up, we'll let you know that this is going to help these kids. So you step in, court-appointed special advocates, so you kind of, I guess, lack of a term, you're kind of a buffer for these kids. So tell me what you all do when these kids get in these, I guess, get in a situation where they have to testify and appear in court, right?
Yes. So our volunteers are official agents of the court. They're appointed by the juvenile court judge, and that is how we are placed on a case. At that point, our volunteers will interact with the child, ask them questions, and then also interact with the family members, interview moms and dads, after-school programs, teachers, anyone that they regularly come in contact with, family friends or grandparents, and try to get a real feel of the situation to see if that child is being abused or neglected. We are the eyes and ears of the courts, and we play a vital role in that role, I guess you could say.
The tough part about this is it's tough. The kids are going through it even to begin with, but a lot of times, more times than not, unfortunately, it is people that they know, relatives, friends, cousins, whatever the case may be, but it's not typically strangers. It is family members, which makes it that much tougher, right? Because they've broken that trust with this child.
Yes, we are just a degree of separation away from abuse. So, you know, you might know a friend or a family, or it might be, you know, inside your family, and that's why it's so important to understand and realize and know what cases of emotional abuse or physical abuse look like.
We're talking to Whitney McLaughlin. Coming up next, my man Andy Dietrich's in the house. We'll be talking to Andy about Champion Chevrolet. And again, Whitney McLaughlin, there is a website, of course. It's CASA, NETN rather, which is CASA NortheastTennessee.org. Once we go there, what will we find on the website?
There's more information about how to become a volunteer, our history and background. If you want to check out our special events and fundraisers, there's a section for that. And more of a national organization as well. So it's fully comprehensive. If you want to learn more about us, definitely check out our website.
One of the cool things you guys do for these kids are, again, the teddy bears, the teddy bear program where, you know, again, I'm trying to put myself in these kids' position. They have to go in a court sometimes and testify against loved ones that are in the courtroom with them, and it's got to be very, very stressful for these little people. And so you guys kind of help ease it, if you will, with teddy bears, right?
Yes, what we do is when our volunteers are appointed to a new case, we give them a cute little teddy bear with a CASA shirt. It has our phone number, website, anything like that, so the kid has something physically with them. If they're ever in danger and need a direct phone, they can call us, as well as other resources. But that teddy bear is a comfort object. We also give them a coloring book that tells a CASA story from their perspective and lets them understand what's going on a very basic level.
You see on the screen, we're talking to Whitney McLaughlin, again, the executive director with CASA, the golf tournament coming up. So the age of kids you serve is what?
0 to 18.
0 to 18, so all across the board, guys, little boys and little girls.
Yes.
So tough stuff. Counties you serve are?
Washington, Greene, and Unicoi County.
There you go. So she's here because there's a golf tournament coming up, and so we want you to know about this golf tournament because this will help provide funds to do what they do with over 300 kids served. You know, there shouldn't be any, but I'm glad that you're there to help them out. So this golf tournament helps you all out. So
Yes.
tell us about the golf tournament.
This is our 12th annual golf tournament. It is one of two major fundraisers that we do to be able to continue serving the children in our area. It'll be at Blackthorn Club at the Ridges this year. We're very excited. That's a neat course that not a lot of people get a chance to play at, so we look forward to that. We have two flights, 8:30 and 1:30. So if you're not a morning person or you've got morning meetings, sign up for the afternoon. If you're more of a morning person and you've got afternoon meetings, check us out in the morning. We'll definitely accommodate you. We've got 2 and 4 player teams, so grab your friends together, sign up. It's only $150 per player, and that will give you breakfast in the morning flight or lunch between both flights. So we've got some good goodies, a hole-in-one prize, which is a vehicle. We're very excited about that. And our breakfast is provided by Fats Cafe with lunch by McAllister's. So good food, good tournament, and good cause.
Yeah, good food for sure. Fats and McAllister's, I eat there all the time. That's good stuff. Who is, not who can play, but where it's going to be on August the 11th. It's going to be Blackthorn, so $150. How do we get signed up?
You can sign up online by going to our website. You can click on our golf brochure, print it out, fill it out, mail, fax, email it in. Our tournament's actually Monday, August 21st, which is pretty cool. It's the day of the eclipse. So if you ever had a chance to play in an eclipse, here's your chance. Something really neat and unique. And then so you can sign up that way or shoot us an email at McLaughlin, McLaughlin at CASANETN.org, and let me know that you're interested in playing, and I'll send you all the information over.
Not that far away. You've already got teams signed up, right?
Yes, but we're always looking for more teams, always looking for more sponsors. We've got T sponsorships available for $300, so if your business or organization's interested in being a sponsor, sign up.
There you go. Again, where you go to CASANETN.org. And again, the office number is 461-3500. But again, if you want to play, the easiest way to let you know that they want to play is to do what?
Shoot me an email or go to the website and print and fill out that form and send it in, and we'll get you all registered and ready to go.
There you go. It's just that easy.
Yes.
You come back and do this again?
Yes, I'd love to be here again.
Come back. Just come back next Thursday. Do it again.
I think that sounds great.
I'm here every Thursday. I'd love to have her come back, and this is a great cause. And again, I've been involved in CASA in a roundabout way for a number of years, and so I'm all about this organization. And these kids have been dealt a crappy deck of cards, quite frankly, that they don't have any control over. It's not their fault. They've been taken advantage of by folks that they trust and have trusted, and so they need someone to kind of go to bat for them, be a buffer, and Whitney and her organization is doing that. And so if you'd like to play golf for a great cause, and these monies, of course, will stay local to help fund the program, right?
Right.
So see you next Thursday.
That sounds fantastic.
All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll go from Miss Whitney to, we'll go from the Beast, or no, we'll go from the Beauty to the Beast, from Whitney to Andy Dietrich. Coming up next here, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet and the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live here again. We are rocking and rolling, and well, we got her coming in here in just a second. I'm going to put this camera back up on me real quick so she gets settled into the seat, because the lady is in the house, boys and girls. She's a nice one, as they say. And so we'll have her on. Brown sugar and fig will be the magic words for this young lady. And she'll put on the cans. We'll get to her in just a second. Hey, tonight's the night. You got to come out and play putt-putt with us tonight for St. Jude's. 90 kids here in Northeast Tennessee, unfortunately, are using the services, again, of Niswonger Children's Hospital here locally, or St. Jude's in Memphis. And, again, it's a putt for a cure. Again, you just let me know when you're ready over there, Queen. I love it. I love this lady. She is hilarious. She's over here getting ready. 50-50 ticket table tonight, too, whereby you put money in the pot, 50-50. If we pull your name, you take home half the pot. Other half goes to St. Jude's. It starts at 5. Tournament is at 6. Again, it's the putt-putt on Stone Drive in Kingsport. All the proceeds go to benefit, obviously, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We had Gary Taylor on yesterday talking about the event. We'll be over there today doing a little broadcasting, doing a little eating, enjoying the music of Benny Wilson, Ivy Road, and Asylum Suite. We went over and shot putt-putt just to get ready for the big tournament last week, and shot a blistering 84, which is like god-awful. So probably won't play tonight. We'll just kind of wander around and not embarrass myself in front of, will be a lot of people. Remember, all the food's been donated, so you go in and buy one of those hamburger hot dog platters. It all goes into the pot. Last year they raised over $25,000 in one night. That's net. That's clear. All kinds of silent auction items. If you like amusement parks and theme parks and golf courses, and there's all kinds of cool things. See, 2 years ago, I won 4 tickets to Dollywood, one-day passes, which is, I don't know, what, a couple $100. So it's all good. It's tonight. It is at Stone Drive Putt-Putt. And again, it's the St. Jude's Research Hospital Putt-Putt Tournament, Putting for a Cure. So please consider being over there tonight and get over there and hang out with us for a little while. Again, it all starts at 6. Usually it runs to about 8:30 and 9 o'clock. So let's get her. Boom. I'm not Kristen, but we're about to get her on the camera, because we need her in the set, in the shot. And boom, there she is. Look there. Hello, Sunshine. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm just living the dream. Glad to have you here with me. I know you're busy. Everybody's busy. That's a good sign.
That's a great sign.
It's hopping. So, of course, as you see, she's in internet sales at Champion Chevrolet. So how have things been going since last week? Give me some success stories.
Oh, my goodness. It's been crazy this last week. I think between just the internet department, the numbers were crazy from just in the past week, which is a good thing. That's always a good thing. 3 and 4 cars a day out of the internet department. Can't complain.
Oh, really?
Yes,
3 and
between
4
myself
a
and the other lady. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. So set us up. We do this every week, but I want folks, we're picking up new listeners all the time. Again, our July numbers are through the roof, and so we continue to add more folks, and we appreciate that. So I'm going to get out of the screen. This is the literal Beauty and the Beast. I'm going to get out of the way and let the beauty talk. And so step us through the process of the internet sales of Champion Chevrolet.
So you jump on the website, which is championjc.com, and you're able to look at new inventory and used inventory. You can also narrow it down to the certified inventory if you'd like. It allows you to pick out a car, look at color options, look at even your interior color options, all the equipment, cloth, leather, sunroof, this, that, and the other. You can really figure out what you're looking for, and then you can go on. If you have questions about it, you can call us, you can chat with us, you can text with us, or you can email us, and we get back to you really, really quickly, all the above, with all the information that they need.
So if I'm looking for, pull one out of the sky, a Chevrolet Malibu,
Yes.
and I'm looking for one that's a 4-door,
Yes.
and I'm looking for this particular price range, you can click down the side and
You sure can.
Pops up all the options
Yep.
you've got, right?
You sure can. You can narrow it down to price, and it will. And the nice thing that we do is if you've got 2 or 3 that you're looking at, and you're like, gosh, wonder what the differences are. You can click compare. There's a picture of the car itself, and just underneath there's a little compare icon. You hit the compare icon, and you can choose up to 3, and you choose the compare icons, and it allows you to, when it flips over to that, it says compare now, and it allows you to see exactly what the differences are between those 2 or 3 different vehicles you've chosen. So you can say, oh, well, that makes sense. I don't need that, or whatever. So
I don't need bucket
we
seats.
use it
I don't want
daily.
this. I want
It's-
that.
yeah.
So that is really cool. So you can actually compare on the lot, car makes against car makes.
You sure can.
Awesome. I didn't know
Really
that.
handy. It's a super handy feature that
I
we
guess.
use here. Even when customers are sitting in front of us, it's something that we use, and it allows us to narrow things down too. I mean, we've got a lot of inventory, so it helps us to kind of figure out what they're looking for, and and all of those things. And we try to pull the car up here to keep everybody out of the hot sunshine.
We're talking to Kristen Martin. You see on the screen, internet sales here at Champion Chevrolet. So geographically, I mean, almost every week you tell me stories about folks coming in from somewhere other than the Tri-Cities to buy a vehicle.
Yes, we've had people this past week. Excuse me. We've had people. I had a gentleman right now that I'm dealing with out of New Jersey. He's looking at flying in just in the next couple of days. That's actually what I've been dealing with this morning, trying to figure out flying him here, and he's going to ship the car back. But anyway, and then also, of course, we always have people from Knoxville, North Carolina, the Big Stone Gap area. We get a lot of people out of those areas down here.
And so you look at a guy from Jersey who's flying in to buy a vehicle. I don't know. I'd have to ask Tim. There has to be hundreds of Chevrolet dealerships between New Jersey and East Tennessee, and yet he gets on the internet,
Yes.
starts wheeling and dealing, shopping, and hitting the right buttons, and finds out the deal here is better than anything in New Jersey.
Yep.
So he's going to take the expense of flying in, get the machine or the vehicle, and drive it back
Yes.
and still save money.
And that's what he said. I said, wouldn't you just drive it back? He said, no, I don't want to put the miles on it. And I said, shipping's going to not be a cheap expense. He said, well, I'm still less money than what I'd be up here. And I said, wow.
That is,
That's amazing.
That is amazing. So it happens all the time, folks. This is not a setup. This is just the way it is. This is how it rolls here at Champion Chevrolet. There's a reason why they're the #1 Chevy dealer between Memphis and Mountain City. You also sell Cadillacs, too. I know we're going to talk
We
to
do.
Andy about that a little bit later on, but you sell Cadillacs as well. So tell me a little bit about the Cadillac side.
Oh my goodness, we've got a really good selection of Cadillacs, both new and pre-owned right now. We have actually a 16 left that really needs to find a home. I think what happened is when the 17 started hitting, it just kind of kept getting moved over to the side, and we forgot about it. So we have a huge savings on it. I think it's this month $14,000 savings. It is a new car. It's just still sitting here. So it's a black CTS that it needs a home. So.
You sound like Andy. You're not partial to any of them. All of them need a home.
They all need a home.
You're glad to get rid of any of them on the lot. So you also look, too, you think, well, I'd like to get that car, but I don't know if I can afford it. I'd like to get that car, I don't know if I can afford it. But on the internet, you can get qualified financially right there on the spot, right?
You sure can. There's a tab on the website that says get pre-approved. You click on that, and that comes to myself and the other internet lady, and we're able to work out your payments down to the interest rate, terms, money down or not, or whatever, and we can figure leasing, and we can do all of that for you before you ever step foot in the door.
We have asked her to be a part. I think you are, aren't you? We part of the show?
Yes.
Yeah, we have asked her to be a part of the show. Again, Dave, well, I didn't ask Dave. I said, we're going to get her on the show because she knows a lot more. She knows a lot about football. She's a sports lady, which is really cool. And I told her, I'm paying her a compliment. I said, she's not, well, some of the ladies on national TV that, but this lady, Yeah, she knows what she's talking about, and so she has agreed to be part of our show. Starts 2 weeks from today. It's hard to believe it's here, but the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview is going to be right here in the showroom. First show is going to be, it's race week, so I got to be here because it's Thursday night. I got to be up at Food City Family Race Night, so I'll have to be here to do the show. But then after that, every Thursday night from 6 to 8 o'clock, we'll be right here in the showroom, Dave and I, bringing you the show. I think she's going to be around when she can be. If not, she'll get with us on the phone. But she's going to kind of track former high school football players that are now moved on to college and how they're doing. And it's quite an undertaking. She said, I've agreed to do that. And did you put out an SOS to some of the parents?
I did. I've actually found out there's quite a few around here. I had no idea. A lot of kids, from right here local, Happy Valley, Hampton, different things, Elizabethton, that I wasn't aware of that are playing football at the college level. So I'm excited to learn. I'm sure there's a lot more. So we'll keep digging and try to find everybody.
The show's going to be brought to you by Brown Sugar and Fig, by the way, which is what she wears. So if you want to score brown, Andy doesn't wear Brown Sugar and Fig.
No, I have plenty though. I can share.
It's a 55-gallon drum. She does a great job. We are very much looking forward to her being on the show. Tell me about the Colbster before I let you go. I know you got to get back at it, but
yeah,
what's
I'm
the
off
latest
on Saturday. We're moving. This is the weekend, so we've got to start packing. We're going to spend all day Saturday packing, and Sunday's the big move day. He'll check in for football at 3 o'clock that day, and so it begins.
Bittersweet.
Yeah, it is.
That's going to be a long drive back.
It's going to be a very long drive back.
I'll
have to take a box of Kleenex.
You taking the siblings? Everybody
yes.
Going?
Oh gosh, yeah. My parents are going too. It's a big deal. We're excited for him.
It is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Oldest one leaving the nest, going off to play football, and so Mama's. If she doesn't cry and tear up, then she's not much of a mama. It's just part of it. It's called life, but. You'll get down the road and know he's in good hands.
Yeah, very good hands. The coaches and staff up there is great. We're really excited.
Yeah.
So
Mom will be blue for a little while, but she knows it's for the best. It's part of it. Yep. Daddy used to say you raise them to leave the nest, not stay in the nest. So Colby her kid will be good wherever he goes. He's a fine young man.
Thank you.
One more time, the website to Champion Chevrolet. How do we get it all started? The internet sales.
ChampionJC.com, or if you want to get on the Cadillac site, ChampionJCCadillac.com. Or ChampionCadillacJC.com, I'm sorry. And either of those websites will get you to us. We'll have a little pop-up. You'll see myself or some of the other ladies will pop up and we can chat. Like I said, text, email, call, whatever works for you, we'll make it work.
There you go. Working on a deal out of Jersey.
Jersey, yeah.
Jersey, I love that. The guy's, I think about this, he's flying in here from Jersey, going to buy the vehicle and have it shipped back and still saving money.
Yes.
That tells you what kind of deals you can get here at Champion Chevrolet, and apparently what kind of deals you can't get up in Jersey. So it's pretty good here in good old East Tennessee. Taters. Thank you, lady. Appreciate you very much. She is awesome. Again, that would be our buddy, Krista Martin with Internet Sales, and we appreciate her. Andy will be along here just a little while, so we'll take a quick break, come right back. We'll jump in, talk a little baseball. Carmichael's coming. But we've got a big day of baseball from yesterday, and the pennant race is getting a little tighter. Things getting a little tightening up in the American League East and in the National League Central, so we'll take a break, tell you all about that. Coming up next, we're live at Champion Chevrolet on show number 571. They said it wouldn't last here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and a big thanks to Kristen again. Busy lady. They're all busy here at Champion, but they take the time, obviously, to come over and talk to us. We appreciate that. Back after this, talking baseball on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Daly Sports Show. We're live here again at Champion Chevrolet. Thanks again to Miss Kristen Martin, Internet Sales. Here are a couple of specials. Andy's going to join us coming up here in a little while because we had Andy's doing deals, and I understand that. It's a busy place, and so here are a couple of the specials. He said be sure and pass on to you watching wherever you may be. Now, there's a classic point. Kristen's working with a guy in New Jersey, as you heard her say. He's going to fly in here. They're going to fly and get him in here. He's going to buy the vehicle and have it shipped back to New Jersey, and it's going to be cheaper than him to buy it in New Jersey. I'm telling you, it happens all the time. Just since I've been doing the show, I've had folks in here. Well, I've been here on the show on Thursday from Georgia, West Virginia, North Carolina, of course, here in the Tri-Cities. So they come in from all over the place. Crew Cab. Is that a 1LT? Is that what you call that? 1LT All-Star Crew Cab? 1LT? What does LT stand for? Luxury truck? Light truck. Didn't know that. Just learned something from Cletus. Crew Cab 1 light truck all-star, $11,000 off of that particular type of truck. The double cab all-stars 1 LT and 2 LT, $9,000 off. All the cruises right now. CRUZEs, all the cruises, 25% off right here at Champion Chevrolet. If you're looking for a Malibu, all the Malibus, against model year closeout time, all the Malibus, $5,500. As soon as you walk in the place, it's an automatic $5,500 right off the top. Now, folks, you look at it how you want to look at it. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but when I see a deal, there's a deal. Sonic LTs, 25% off again right here at Champion Chevrolet. If you're looking for one of those brand names for many, many years, an Impala, Chevrolet Impala LT, 22% off the sticker, the MSRP. And last but not least, they've got some 2017 Equinox, $5,000 off. How about that? All that again right here at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. Let's take a look at baseball from last night. Sad story coming out of Philadelphia today about Pete Rose. Very sad, at least I think it is. Philadelphia Phillies had planned on inducting Pete Rose into the Wall of Fame on August the 12th. That's been put on hold. Earlier this week, news surfaced that Rose allegedly had a sexual relationship with an underage girl back in the 70s, or in other words, committing statutory rape. He has not denied this, so the Phillies have now canceled the ceremony with an official announcement being made by the club on Tuesday. This was Pete Rose's reaction. While I'm truly honored that the Philly fans voted for me to be this year's Wall of Fame inductee, I'm concerned that other matters will overshadow the goodwill associated with Alumni Weekend, so I agree with the decision not to participate, end quote. So the Phillies will not distribute the Pete Rose bobblehead doll on Friday, August the 11th. The Phillies will pay tribute to former Wall of Fame inductees during a pregame ceremony, and so all fans in attendance for Sunday's game in Philadelphia will receive a Wall of Fame card pack. And so, of course, Rose, no stranger to legal troubles. He served time during the 90s for tax evasion. Again, just a sad story. Of course, he allegedly bet on baseball. So Pete Rose, again, has been put on the shelf for the Wall of Fame in Philadelphia on August the 12th. And Carmichael will be here in a few minutes. We'll let him talk more about that. To me, it's a very, very sad story. And so we'll let Carmichael, when he gets settled in here in a few minutes, talk about that. Let's run down Major League Baseball. Cleveland-Boston got rained out last night in Fenway. Other American League Finals, Detroit over the Yankees 2-0. Toronto beat Chicago 5-1. Minnesota 5-2 winners over San Diego. Baltimore playing some hot baseball. We'll talk to Carmichael about that. Orioles starting to get it together for Buck Showalter. They blank and sweep Kansas City. Beat them 6-0. Texas over Seattle 5-1. Tampa Bay shuts out Houston 3-0, which is the best team in the American League. It was Philadelphia and the Angels. Angels got them on the left coast 7-0, and Oakland beat San Francisco 6-1. In the National League, you have the Reds winning again. They won 2 in a row. What is happening to Cincinnati? Reds beat them 5-2 over the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Miami shuts out Washington 7-0. Atlanta snaps the string, for the Dodgers. Beat them 5-3. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Arizona blanks Jake Arrieta and the Cubs 3-0. It was the Cardinals over Milwaukee 5-4. Mets over Colorado 10-5 in Major League Baseball. Here's your schedule. First off, in the American League, Detroit to Baltimore. By the way, the update on Daniel Norris threw long toss the other day for 120 feet, which is the maximum to throw. Got the green light to go down and do another rehab assignment in the AAA Toledo Ball Club, I think, coming up this weekend. They're looking for him for a return to the Detroit starting rotation by the end of August. So hopefully that'll happen for Daniel Norris. Detroit at Baltimore tonight under the lights. White Sox in Boston. Yankees at Cleveland. Tampa Bay at Houston. Texas will be in Minnesota. Seattle, Kansas City. Philadelphia taking on the Angels, wrapping up that series. And Oakland will be in San Francisco. In the National League, one-day game. The Cardinals, Waka's on the mound for the Cardinals against the Milwaukee Brewers. 2:10 first pitch in Milwaukee. Also a day game in Chicago. Jose Quintana will be on the hill for the Cubbies against Arizona. Also the Mets in Colorado in a day game. Tonight under the lights, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. The Dodgers in Atlanta. Philadelphia against the Angels in Los Angeles, and Oakland at San Francisco in Major League Baseball. Quick look at the Appalachian League. They were off last night. So tonight, if you want to see Appalachian League baseball, you can. All 4 cities have 4 out of the 5. Kingsport's home to Bristol. Elizabethton's hosting Burlington tonight. The Johnson City Cardinals home to Princeton, and the Greenville Astros playing host to the Danville Braves tonight in Appalachian League baseball. In the Tri-Cities Division, Elizabethton with a 4-game lead over Greenville, and the Eastern Division, Bluefield with a half-game lead over Pulaski. And that's a look at Major League Baseball. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll get him in here and get him settled in and ready to go. He's our buddy Carmichael. Can't wait to have him on. He joins us next here on show number 571 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Him on screen. Nope, I'm not Carmichael, but we got to get him on screen because we want him to be front and center. So pretty cool. I'm hitting the stuff as I go. I couldn't do that before. So Jeremiah's learning me, as they say. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Chamber of Commerce Thursday here
Beautiful
in
day.
East Tennessee.
Yep. Hello to some folks in Charleston, South Carolina watching us. Hello to Andy and Grace and all the folks down there watching us. They're out there bebopping around in Charleston, South Carolina, and we appreciate them. Among others, watching us all over the.
Maybe Bill Murray's watching us down there. Bill Murray's at Charleston. He lives part of the year in Charleston, and I think he's a part owner of the ball club down there.
Your favorite Bill Murray movie?
Oh, Caddyshack. Well, I was going to say Stripes. Stripes, Caddyshack. Yeah. I mean, Caddyshack's great. He's great in that. I mean, he just more than most people. A lot of people would think like Ghostbusters or Groundhog Day, but yeah, Stripes is a classic.
When he does the routine out on the military that goes through the drill,
that's the fact, Jack.
That's the fact, Jack. I'm telling you.
I mean, you have all those
classic.
You have all those people with comedy experience, like John Candy was in that. Mm-hmm. Harold Ramis, who helped write the movie with him, was in that. I mean, just so many great either character actors or comics in that movie.
Carmichael with us, coming up the bottom of the hour. Dave Angie, who was not with us yesterday. He had dad duties at school. First day of school was yesterday in the Johnson City schools and half a day of school, so he couldn't be with us. He'll be with us here in just a little while. 2 weeks from today, Carmichael's going to be involved in this. Cannot wait. This guy is such a great addition to our show. It'll be the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. He's going to give us the 5 biggest college football games of the week. And so tease us. September the 2nd will be the really first big week of college football. The obvious, Alabama, Florida State. Let's see, Florida, Michigan's going to be
Florida,
pretty big one, obviously.
Tennessee,
Georgia Tech. There's 3.
Those are probably the three biggest games. I really haven't sat down and start looking at it deeply yet, but those 3 games are definitely huge
Virginia
games.
Tech, West Virginia. That's on a Sunday.
Yeah, and I was trying. There was, I can't remember.
Anyway, I put him on the spot.
Maybe North Carolina. Is it North Carolina, South Carolina play early in the year? They did. I don't know if that's still that used to be. That was a game they were, and that was a game that Coach Spurrier was trying when he was in South Carolina, was wanting to do in Charlotte like every year, thinking North Carolina, South Carolina open the season up. I know Georgia's big game is not like until 2 weeks when they play Notre Dame.
NC State. They'll play
NC
North Carolina State in Charlotte. South Carolina, North Carolina State in Charlotte on September the 2nd.
So that may be a thing where they're going to alternate between North Carolina and North Carolina State every year and play the game. Because it's right there. It's not far from Columbia. It's a traction. It's a neutral sites facility. So as long as it doesn't interfere with the, and usually it does at the Panthers. Usually that's their fourth exhibition game. They usually are on the road that week.
Tonight, of course, we kick off the NFL preseason. It's the Cowboys, his football team against the Arizona Cardinals, a Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. Thought it was pretty cool. Bruce Arians, the Arizona coach, said earlier this week, he said, if you guys are going to play like beep, that stuff out in the middle of a cow field, if you're going to play like that, I'm going to treat you like that. So this guy is a piece of, you talk about a lightning rod. He's a quote machine, this Bruce Arians, Arizona coach.
And, he was starting college, started at Temple, worked at Alabama, worked at Virginia Tech, some back when he was back in the day, and bounced around for a lot of years and was just about out of football when he was let go in Pittsburgh, and when Indianapolis called basically a last chance thing to bring him as an offensive like coach, quarterbacks coach, and he gets there. Chuck Pagano gets sick. He takes over the team. He gets them to the playoffs that year. Because of that, Arizona looks for a head coach after firing Ken Whisenhunt. They hire him, and the Cardinals are one of the better teams in the NFC.
There you go. The rest, they say, is history. So, anyway, Hall of Fame game tonight. Do any of the starters play any at all?
No,
maybe one.
I don't think I don't even think Dallas. I don't think Dak or Elliott are going to even. Well, dress. They'll probably go out there in their jersey, but I don't even think they even go out for a series. Not after the news this morning. It looks like Ryan Tannehill injured in preseason training camp this morning. He's coming off an ACL injury where he didn't go through the entire surgery. They treated it with stem cell, but went down, and the Dolphins says it does not look good.
Yesterday we had the story where Chick-fil-A, where Jerry Jones and the NFL Players Association with the NFL, Roger Goodell, said they're going to work hand in hand on going to a study to use marijuana as a medicinal purposes for injuries in the National Football League.
Yes, that there are some there is some medical research about marijuana being able to help people tolerate pain. Maybe that have had long-term illnesses, say cancer, things like that. It's not used as a purpose to get high. It's used as a purpose to help as a pain reducer, pain killer, something to that effect.
I see long-term. So if you got a pulled hamstring, and I'm using this hypothetically, if you got a pulled hamstring or a turned ankle, you smoke a little hooch to get you through the pain. I don't know. There's a lot of people out there that are very much. When I said this thing lit up yesterday, going, I'm done with the NFL.
See,
they start doing that.
I don't know if it's things like that. I think it's more serious of injuries. I think it's more maybe more concussion type than anything else. I think that's where, as opposed to because most of the time that you hear about medical marijuana is when somebody has got cancer, somebody's got leukemia. They're basically in an illness that it's just a quality of life. It's a long-term illness, long-term disease. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. But
Dr. Carmichael. Dr. Carmichael.
Yeah, but that's, of the things I've read, that's what it would be. And I think the NFL needs, instead of worrying about medical marijuana, I think they need to worry about that Washington Post study that came out last week, where they took they examined the brains of 111, I guess it was deceased players, and 110 of them had CTE. That's more of a worry than about medical marijuana right now.
It's on the Carmichael. See on the screen with the Johnson City Parks and Rec. We just call him Carmichael. He's the first name guy because he is who he is, and so love having him on the show. He adds so much to our show, and can't wait for him to be our contributor. He'll be giving us the Big 5 college football games each week, every week. Starting, there's not much going on the first week, I don't guess. We'll still have him on, but he really cranks up beginning the second week of the show, the 24th, and rolling right on into the end of the season. Of course, the national championship game. So let's take a look. We've got NASCAR coming up in a few minutes. Baseball, sad story coming out of Philadelphia, if it's true, and of course I think it's the old adage, where there's smoke, there's fire. But Pete Rose, again the former Red and Philly, had been planned on being inducted into the Wall of Fame coming up next weekend in Philadelphia with the Phillies. They pulled the plug on that because news surfaced that Rose allegedly, again in this country, innocent until proven guilty, allegedly had a sexual relationship with an underage woman during the 70s, or in other words, committing statutory rape. The Phillies have now canceled the ceremony, with an official announcement being made on by the club coming up on Tuesday. So Pete Rose and the Phillies far apart. This is Rose's reaction to this. Quote, "While I'm truly honored that the Phillies fans voted for me to be this year's Wall of Fame inductee, I am concerned that other matters will overshadow the goodwill associated with Alumni Weekend. I agree with the decision not to participate. They've also pulled his bobblehead dog giveaway next Friday night, August the 11th. So the old adage, my friend, where there's smoke, there's fire, and unfortunately, it's a sad story, but there's got to be something to it.
Part of this goes back to when he was suspended from baseball. John Dowd, who was the prosecutor who did this, alleged in one of the court proceedings that an informant told him, one of the informants told Dowd, that it was common knowledge that Rose had underage women during bringing them, especially during training camp to Florida when he wasn't at home, but different times of the year. So you have that. So then Rose now is suing Dowd for saying he defamed him. Well, now it's coming out that people are making the thing, well, maybe there was something behind it, and maybe there is a woman who has now come forward to say that this has happened. And if it's true, it's not only, I don't see him ever getting in the Hall of Fame.
Oh no.
I don't see how Fox even has him on baseball. Usually, I don't think they've used him as much this year during the Saturday games. I don't really watch the Saturday games as much, but I know they used, he was part of their big five at the World Series in the playoffs. I can't see him working that. And it is sad. It's just a sad story that something like this happened.
Well, he continues to spiral downward. He had tax evasion problems in the 90s. Of course, we know that he allegedly, or actually he did come out and say he bet on baseball, just didn't bet on the Reds. So he's got that hanging over him out of this. And so, we'll just have to wait and see how it.
And if he lost all that gambling, it's like, why didn't you bet on the Reds in the 70s? That was about as a safe.
Sure bet.
That was about as in the mid 70s. That was about as sure bet. It's like betting on the Dodgers right now.
There you go. Dodgers red hot. They're the best team in baseball. Let's see. We had you on last Thursday. Since then, the trading deadline, a lot of folks moved around, a lot of moving parts. What do you think about all the moves happening with the trading deadline?
Well, we thought Yu Darvish would go to the Dodgers because they had the money, they had some prospects, and he's a free agent at the end of the year. We'll see how that goes. They needed a pitcher. And then they went out and not only got Yu Darvish, but they went out and got Tony Sagani from the Reds, and they got Tony Watson from the Pirates. And I think Watson's as big of a deal as any because he gives you that guy that can come in the 7th or 8th inning when you've got some left-handers, and he's as tough against left-handers as anybody in the National League. And then it gets you to Kelly Jansen in the 9th, and that's what the Dodgers' strategy will be.
So right now, when everybody's healthy, the Dodgers will have the starting foursome of Kershaw, Alex Wood, Rich Hill, and Yu Darvish. That's a pretty strong foursome.
They could run that. And they've still got Brandon McCarthy trying to get him healthy as a number 5 starter. And you still got some deals that could possibly be made. Justin Verlander went through revocable waivers, which means he could, if you put him in revocable waivers, you basically use it at this time of the year, even though the trade deadline is passed. You put him through revocable waivers and see what interest, who bites, like maybe which team is going to buy. Then, as a club, you have the option to make a deal. I think the big thing is who's going to help. How much are the Tigers going to pick up that $58 million that they still owe Justin Verlander? I think a team, and it's been talked about for the last month, that don't be surprised to see him go to the Cubs. Also on revocable waivers, Jose Bautista, another big bat. Toronto's just trying to clear out space, and so is there? Could somebody else pick up looking for a big bat to help them down the stretch? So don't know that those guys will be traded. I look at Atlanta. The other night when they brought up their young second baseman, they didn't have Brandon Phillips playing, and the announcers got ready to start something about talking about Brandon Phillips, and you just wonder, is Brandon Phillips another? Even though they went and acquired him before the year, are they going to see about anybody wanting to pick up Brandon Phillips for the stretch run. There's always been that fascination in Washington with Brandon Phillips, Dusty Baker having him there, and also Matt Adams. They moved Freddie Freeman back to first base, moved Matt Adams to the outfield. I'm like, you're not going anywhere. If another team would give you something for Matt Adams, go ahead and take it, and you've made a great deal.
Talking to Carmichael again, we're live here at Championship Chevrolet. Tell me the attraction of Jaime Garcia. Twins got him, and they turned right around, and the Yankees got him. So
left-hander.
Still some gas in the tank.
Pitch. Yeah, well, yeah. And if you're a left-handed pitcher, look at Jamie Moyer. You're pitching when you're 50 years old. Left-handed pitchers are like kickers in the NFL. You always have a job.
Daniel Norris, what's the latest on him?
I think, and I may be wrong, and maybe I'm maybe overanalyzing this. I really think that Detroit should try him in the bullpen as a possible closer or a possible shutdown guy like an Andrew Miller to come in. I think eventually that may be his role. I don't think he's got the durability to be a starting 6-7 inning pitcher in the league. But for one time around the batting order, he's got a gift, and I think you could use him as he might be Detroit's closer of the future.
We'll run down the pennant races real quick before we go to the break, and we'll come back to talk about NASCAR. Kyle Busch is not a happy camper. We'll tell you all about that coming up here after the break. Pennant races: Boston a 1-game lead over the Yankees. Tampa Bay 3.5 out. Orioles catching fire. They've won 5 in a row, 7 out of the last 10. So they picked up Hellickson and Beckham, the shortstop.
Bodies, just bodies.
So, what do you like about the East right now? What do you think?
I still think Boston, New York, Baltimore. I don't see how they can keep on year after year. Their pitching staff is not, they got a couple decent pieces in the bullpen, but their starting pitching is awful. Their ERA is somewhere close to 5. And I mean, so you're giving up 5 earned runs every night you go out there. It means you got to score at least 6 to win. Well, eventually that catches up to you, and I think it will this year. I think this will be the year that it finally does.
American League Central, Cleveland 2.5-game lead over Kansas City. Both those teams, Cleveland's won 7 out of 10, but they've lost 3 in a row after winning 7 straight. Cleveland, Kansas City 2.5 back, Minnesota 6 out.
I don't think Minnesota has a chance. Kansas City picked up some spare parts, Melky Cabrera, to help out. Cleveland just needs to get out of Boston. That's been the team they've struggled with in Boston and in Cleveland last week. So I think once they clear that, I think Cleveland will end up still winning the Central Division.
American League West, Houston again the best team in the American League, a 15-game lead over Seattle in the West. They're 69-38. They're 31 games over 500. A phenomenal road team at 38-15. The Astros didn't really help themselves much in the trading deadline, did they?
No, and because they're just trying to get people healthy. They get Correa back. They get some people. They get Dallas Keuchel back. They get some pieces back. They're just trying to get healthy for the playoffs. Seattle is the team in the West that could still was a team I thought liked the first of the year as a possible playoff team. They've got some pieces, especially in the pitching staff. They've got some hitters. I think Seattle could sneak in and be the other wild card team out of the American League.
I was looking at the game. Keuchel pitched last night. They got shut out 3-0. So I guess there's no box score in the paper. He must have taken the loss.
He did, and he did okay, but it's just trying to get back in the swing of things.
National League, Washington 12-game lead over Miami. Mets 13.5 out. Braves continue to sink. They've lost 8 out of their last 10, although they broke the Dodgers' winning streak. We'll talk about that in a second, but it's Washington's to lose in the East, right?
Yeah, I mean, they really would have to historic collapse, because I don't even think you could put Miami, New York, and Atlanta together and beat the Nationals.
How good a manager, in your humble opinion, is Dusty Baker?
He's okay. I think it's talent. It's in Washington. It's talent. Dusty wins. This is not a knock. Dusty wins, but sometimes when he was in Cincinnati, I just would scratch my head because of how he constructs lineups. And it's just, I think they win. He's a great guy. The players love. They'll run through a wall for him. He is a player's. You have the managers, the tough manager, then you have the players manager. Well, Dusty's a players manager, and the players will try their best. They'll bust themselves to do for him, and it usually works 2-3 years. And about that 4th, 5th year, then the rose goes off, the bloom goes off the rose, and eventually you have to get a authoritarian manager in there.
All right, your humble opinion right now. We'll get into the Cubs in the West in a second. Right now, the 3 best managers in Major League Baseball, in your opinion?
Even though they're really bad this year, and I think it's been injury and some players not performing, I still think Bruce Bochy is. I think he's the best. I still think he's the best manager in baseball. Giants. Joe Madden,
Cubs,
the Cubs, and probably my guy in New York, with the Yankees, Joe Girardi. I think those are the three best, and Francona. Francona gets a lot. He's
out of Cleveland.
Yeah, I think those four guys are are the best managers.
Cubs don't look now. They're hot. They won 7 out of the last 10. They lead the Milwaukee Brewers by 2.5. Cardinals 4.5 out. Pittsburgh 6.5 out. All those guys still in the hunt?
I don't think Pittsburgh's not. Milwaukee's still got a chance. Maybe the Cubs. This was kind of like a World Series hangover. The Cubs, played 162 games, got through the National League pennants, got to the World Series, Game 7, extra innings, and I think it was just a little bit of a hangover. Finally, they got going. They've played much better, and I think it could be a really good National League Championship Series if the Dodgers and Cubs make it. It looks like the Dodgers will play the winner of Colorado, Arizona. Those will probably be your two wild card teams in the National League, and the Dodgers would play them in the first round of the playoffs.
Dodgers again 75-32, unbelievable winning percentage of 70, and these guys just keep on keeping on. Braves got them last night and broke their string, but LA is
this is like
awesome.
This is like Cincinnati was back in the 70s, as hot as when somebody said something. They said like the other night, well, the Dodgers. I said, well, I can remember one year Cincinnati was, I think it was 75. They were, or 76. They were 70-30 at the 100-game break. Or like the Yankees were, like in 98, 99, how good those Yankee teams under Joe Torre were. We haven't seen anything like that since then. The Dodgers are just phenomenal.
They are phenomenal. They are. We'll take a quick break, come right back. We'll switch gears. We'll talk a little NASCAR. Kyle Busch making some news this afternoon. He's not happy. We'll tell you what he's not happy about. Also, the silly season continues, and we'll take a break, come right back. We're talking to Carmichael. Dave Angie joins us at the bottom of the hour talking high school football, and we'll come right back with more again from Champion Chevrolet, show number 571 of the Tom Daly Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. your one-and-done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show, there is our buddy Carmichael waiting in the wings, Dave Onge, ladies and gentlemen, talking high school football, get his perspective on what's going on, a lot of the scrimmages happening, and see what he's going to talk about that a little bit coming up here in a few minutes. Again, he and I are going to co-host this show 2 weeks from today right here. Can't wait, against the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. We're doing high school, we're doing college. We have contributors Doug Fritz, Joe Avento, David Carmichael, Kevin Harmon, Dave Onge. Gosh, the name for the Hokies stringer has escaped me. I got it written down at home. It's a new guy, but he's the one to call in and give us updates, or previews, I should say, of Hokie football. And so all that's going to be right here every Thursday, emanating from right here, the original location, the showroom at Champion Chevrolet. Can't wait. And so we're looking forward to doing that again starting 2 weeks from today. The first show's got to be during the day because it's race week, and Thursday night I'll be at Food City Family Race Night. So we'll get that rolling. But that'll happen Thursday here on the 17th, and after that, every Thursday night right here from 6 to 8, beginning on the 24th. So there you go. Kyle Busch, not a happy camper. We told you yesterday what's got him all worked up. 2018 driver participation guidelines. We told you going forward, Cup drivers next year, this year they could drive in 10 Xfinity races. Next year, NASCAR's whacked it down to 7. This year, Cup drivers can be in 7 truck races. Next year, they whittled it down to 5. So 12 races that are non-Cups, all they can drive in. So they get to cherry pick which we hope to be Bristol, the spring race or the fall race or both. But they whittled it down, and you know, some of the Cup drivers like it, some don't. One of those being Kyle Busch. He's not happy.
He wants to take his ball and go home. He just sounds... He's upset about not being able, especially in the truck series. He's more, I think that's where he's more upset than the Xfinity series, because he owns a truck team.
Yes.
And
his guy's leading right now. Christopher Bell leads the points.
Right. And he's like, well, if I can't race, and his quote was, if I can't race in the truck series, if they eventually cut it down to 0, then I'm just going to close my truck. He said, why am I going to keep people here that eventually are going to come out to, develop drivers to come back and beat me? Well, okay, Kyle, wait a minute, grow up a little bit. I mean, you're not getting any younger.
Exactly.
And you need, if you're going to stay in racing, you need to think about the long-term future. And then maybe, and it's like we've talked about before, who's the most successful driver in NASCAR the last 20 years?
Jimmy Johnson.
What does Jimmy Johnson do that all these other guys don't do that all these other guys do?
He races in the Cup Series only.
His focus is only. He trains himself. He keeps, and I truly believe the more it's an athlete, number of games you play eventually takes a toll on your body. I think going out there racing a truck or a car takes a toll on your body. Ask Tony Stewart. Ask Tony Stewart why he was the last 2 or 3 years. Yes, the legal issues were part of it. Part of it was the injuries were part of it as well. And I think it takes a toll. And maybe, some of these NASCAR drivers need, once you get to the major series and once you establish yourself, you need to maybe look at what Jimmy Johnson did and say, my focus should be on Sunday or Saturday night racing only. It should be in the Monster Series. It shouldn't be trying to see if I'm going to be the best driver, win every race at Bristol. Now, to play the devil's advocate, those drivers say, well, when we race in the Xfinity Series or we race in the Truck Series, we're also giving younger drivers an experience to race us, and it helps with their development. But I just think, man, the fewer races that you do, it's got to help you, especially when you get to this time of the year when it gets to be the dog days of August and September, and when you're trying to get to the playoffs and then trying to win. I would think the fresher you are, the better chance you've got at winning the championship.
Well put on all points. I'm going to throw another spoke in the wheel, the tracks and the fans. Now, the tracks at Bristol, let's face it, this Friday night coming up in 2 weeks from tomorrow night, ticket sales are through the roof because you know who's going to be in that race? Dale Jr., his final race at Bristol in the Xfinity Series. The tracks want these guys in the races because it puts butts in seats. It's real simple. It's an economic thing.
In the truck, I mean, you only could race 7, now you're racing 5. That means 2 places you don't race the truck, and I would think there's enough non-Cup tracks that have a Truck Series race, like Tony's place, the dirt race, and you may not have those guys do there. That's 3 less Xfinity races. Maybe they don't go to Iowa. Maybe they don't go somewhere else that's exclusive Xfinity as opposed to a Cup place on the weekend. Maybe I was going to say, do they race it in Ohio? Do they run in Ohio with this group? But I don't know if they do. Xfinity does that one or not. But it's probably you take those races off, especially because it used to be the thing. Some of the Cup drivers would be in a Sunday race. And I think this was a few years ago. Like they'd be in Pocono on Sunday and in Iowa on Saturday night. Well, maybe that's crazy. If you're a full-time Cup driver, why do you put yourself at risk being out here in Iowa than having to get back across the country and race that early that next day in a
Angie can confirm this. I think you're right. I think the only guy that sticks strictly to Cup most of the time, I don't know, remember ever on the Xfinity race, maybe he has, is Jimmy Johnson. He always focuses on Sunday races. He raced
one truck race at Bristol when Randy Moss sponsored back in the day, about 12, 13 years ago, when Randy Moss sponsored the truck, and he raced that truck race. And that's the only, after graduating. Once he graduated from Xfinity to the big time, he didn't. I don't think he's went back and even run like a I don't know if he's even run a Daytona. That would be probably the only place he would have done it. But I know the truck thing was, and even in that night, he raced the truck race. I think 20, 30 laps. He was finished. Yeah.
Carmichael with us, wrapping it up again at the Johnson City Parks and Rec. Lots going on in the Parks and Rec. Dave Angie waits in the wings here. We're going to show you the Dale Earnhardt Jr. video when Carmichael wraps it by telling us again what's going on in the Parks and Rec right now.
Still doing soccer registrations. We extended our deadline until through this Sunday the 6th. Also, girls softball, machine pitch, and t-ball registrations going on through this Sunday. It's $25 if you're a city resident, $30 if you're a non-city resident. We've actually started soccer practices this week, beginning Monday morning for soccer and girls softball, t-ball, and machine pitch. It's a $20 late fee added to that. You can register either at www.myjcparks.org, or you can come to the Wing Deer Athletic Office. We're open 8:30 to 5:30 today and tomorrow. We'll be open 8 to 5 Saturday, and we'll be open 9 to 4 on Sunday.
When Angie walked in the door, you immediately said, "I remember you." So, was his athletic skills? I mean, was he a rise?
Played the program. Did a adequate, more than adequate thing. Distinguished himself. Did play in the program. Played when he was a youngster and played with Grace Fellowship Church. His dad coached. Dad was a volunteer in our program for several years.
Oh, this guy should be in politics. He's smooth. So more than adequate.
I proved it last night in my fantasy league, doing fantasy league football, being able to get a proposal, a rule. I said I could go when I got the rule passed. I said I could go to Washington and be effective.
Angie said we got into his basketball skills here a while back. His nickname was what, Thud? Because that's where he was always hitting the floor. So anyway, he's a product of the Parks and Rec, and they do a great job. What's the website again?
www.myjcparks.org.
All right, good job. We'll see you next Thursday.
Sir, see you next Thursday.
He's the man. Here is, as promised, the Dale Jr. video right here. While you need to get tickets to Bristol Motor Speedway, here it is here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
if you're not a race fan and I send you to Bristol, you're going to be a race fan when you leave.
The most popular track on the circuit.
Let me tell you, don't count that 88 out. He's pretty darn good.
Says goodbye to NASCAR's most popular driver.
Hell yeah!
The Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race, August 19th. Your last chance to see Junior run the night race.
Man, this is one of the biggest wins of my career.
Why is that?
It's Bristol, baby!
And a great job again by Carmichael. Again, go to the 423 Bristol, bristoltix.com, or 1-866-415-4158 to win tickets to the races, or to buy tickets to the races, or you can win tickets to the races right here at Food City 300 or the doubleheader coming up. Again, 13 nights from tonight. It was 2 weeks from last night. Again, TomTaylorSports.com/contest. And again, we picked up yet another state. So the states that are in this contest now: Tennessee, West Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio, Kentucky, New York, Georgia, and Virginia. So folks are clamoring for those tickets right there. Dale Jr.'s final stop in NASCAR, the Xfinity Series for 2017. So again, it's or not for 2017, for his career at the Xfinity Series at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're going to talk to the man about that and everything else going on in sports. Pete Rose, NASCAR, baseball, got to work in some college football, his beloved Wolverines, see what's going on in Michigan. Quick break, we'll be right back. We're live again at Champion Chevrolet, show number 571. Dave Angie joins us next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Live on the Tom Douglas Sports Show. There he is, my man from the Johnson City Press, Dave Angie. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, man. How's it going?
It is fantastic. I thank you for doing dad duty yesterday. Normally he's with us at Chick-fil-A, and that's okay. Got to be a dad. Dad's come first, and got to get the little lady in school and get her settled in. So he's here with us today. Tomorrow we're going to be at Food City on Eastman Road. Again, tomorrow, Courtney Connor joins us tomorrow. Cannot wait. She's going to be here on behalf of Grip and the energy drink. I just choked down a root beer. I'm about ready to chug this white grape, and so I got lemon, lime, pink grapefruit. Would you like one of those, Mr. Andre?
That'd be great.
Pick one. I've got lemon, lime over in this basket and pink grapefruit.
Let me do lemon, lime.
Lemon, lime. Okay, well, that's right up here on the table. I'll just go ahead and open it for you.
All right, I appreciate that.
There
You're
you
a
go.
gentleman.
I'm a gentleman and a scholar.
That
Thank
is.
you very much. Yes. Isn't that nice? All right, Carmichael and I got into a discussion with NASCAR. Kyle Busch all up in arms because they whittled down the racing next year from the Xfinity Series. Cup drivers go from 10 races down to 7. Truck races next year, Cup drivers will go from 7 down to 5. Busch is livid. He wants to ride in these truck races. He wants to ride in the Xfinity. He wants to set the record for the all-time wins in all 3 series, I guess. Plus, the guy's just a competitor. Who loses out of this deal? I guess it's a done deal. It's not up for grabs. It's a discussion. It's been put into place for next year. So I say the tracks lose and the fans lose, not having these guys out there in these races. What say you?
Yeah, I can see an argument for that. I think if you're, NASCAR is finally starting to look toward the future of the sport, though. I think they're willing to sacrifice the present a little bit in favor of the future. There's been such a turnover of drivers that we've talked about the last few weeks, and the sport's getting younger. But what you want to make sure of is that your younger drivers coming up, have done something to wow the fans before they get there. And there's only so many times that you can run second or third to Kyle Busch, and fans say, okay, well, he's almost as good as Kyle Busch. But if you look at other sports, the things that kind of drive it is the next generation of athletes is over the top. They come in and they've got kind of their own individual legend around them a little bit. The last driver I can recall coming in that way was Martin Truex Jr. If you remember, he won back-to-back it was Busch championships at the time, and he comes in and everybody's like, man, this guy, he's going to be the next big thing. He's won Busch races. Of course, he had some rough times early in his career, but he kind of had that to fall back on, and I think people saw him as a more solid driver, and it helped him out that he had been in the position to win those. And now we see what he's doing this year. I mean, he's leading more laps than just about anybody out there. So I think that every time you have a Kyle Busch in the best Gibbs car on the track, you deprive one of the Gibbs developmental drivers a chance to drive that 18 car, which is solid, or the 20 car. Those are 2 of the best rides in the series. If you let the young guys go out there and get in those cars and whip people, which they will because it's good equipment and those guys are good drivers too, they're going to get to build up their credibility in the eyes of the fans. Then when they come on the Cup circuit, they'll have more wins, they'll have more championships, they'll have more things on their resume to say, okay, I can get excited about this guy because I've seen him race in a situation where it's a fair fight. He's out there and he's whipping people. This guy's a good driver. So that's my take on it. That's the other side. I see your side as well. I mean, in the short term,
long term,
if you're going to Bristol Motor Speedway, you go, say you can't get a ticket for the Saturday race, so you go to the Friday race. You want to see some stars. You want to see people that are popular now. So, but I do think that if they stick to this, and they're eventually going to whittle it down to where Cup drivers won't be in Xfinity and they won't be in trucks, what'll happen is that investment and that patience will allow them to kind of build new stars, and I think that'll be beneficial.
Coming up, we got Andy Dietrich going to join us from Champion Chevrolet to kind of wrap up the show. We're live here at Champion. And again, where all the cruises are 25% off right off the top, MSRP, and so they've got lots of deals going on today. Kristen was slammed, and Andy's been slammed. That's a good thing because August will start off with a bang here. Again, at the #1 Chevy dealer in the state. Nobody sells more Chevys from Mountain City to Memphis than Tim and Andy and all the great folks here at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. So and I always like having this guy on because he brings, and so does Carmichael, a different perspective. I'm thinking short term, you're thinking long term, because if you get these guys built up and winning some races on the truck and the Xfinity circuit, when they get to Cup, there's going to be a fan base, there's going to be wins under the belt, and that's what I guess NASCAR is looking for long term. So never thought of it that way. Short term, the tracks pay the price because next year you got the vacuum of the absence of Dale Jr., and now if you got these guys can't come out there next year, then it's going to put the tracks on kind of on notice, you're going to do something to do some more bells and whistles, get folks out there to see these Xfinity and truck races. But of course, at Bristol, it kind of sells itself the track. But some of these other facilities we've watched this year, lots and lots of empty seats during the truck races and the Xfinity races. So anyway, Kyle Busch says, I want to race, and he's totally against it. I guess, as we said, it's in stone. It's already been, unless the owners, have the owners ever gone into NASCAR and leveraged and said, we want this changed and got their way, or once NASCAR rules, NASCAR rules?
Well, it's pretty much, the owners don't have much leverage, and they kind of, if you remember, they organized a few years ago. The co-owner of Michael Waltrip Racing, they kind of got the owners all banded together, made NASCAR kind of nervous, and they've cut this new deal with the charters now, where everybody has a charter member. If you own a team, it's worth this much, and so they help themselves with some behind the scenes stuff. They tend not to get involved with this right here. This is one that will be interesting though, because every time you change anything, there's unintended consequences to it. Like, say Kyle Busch can't run a lot of races, so if you're a sponsor of one of these Xfinity cars for Joe Gibbs, you're like, well, the maximum this guy can run will be 7. Is it worth us spending money to sponsor this car all year anymore? Or do we want to sponsor 7 races that Kyle Busch is going to drive, and we're not going to sponsor the rest of them? So, that's something to look at as well. But, I think what the pressure is going to be, it's eventually going to get down to they're going to cut it off, and they're not going to let Cup drivers, because every change they've made to this rule has whittled it down.
Squeezed them,
and I think they're kind of slowly weaning it off and trying to. The message to the owners is, you need to start marketing and selling these young drivers you have in your developmental program. You need to sell them as stars so we can market them, because we all of a sudden have, just a vacuum where there are no established stars in the sport. It's getting ready to get really young, and they want to be sure those young guys driving, people know them, and people respect them as good drivers. And I think there's pressure in some part of it being put on the owners to help in that marketing effort. So we'll see how it works out.
Case in point, last week, Ryan Preece, only been in the circuit a couple of races driving for Joe Gibbs, went out and won Iowa. And so he's part of this NASCAR Next group of talent they go out and tap every year and say, okay, we're going to groom these guys and ladies to be the next stars of NASCAR. And so Ryan Preece jumps in that ride for Joe Gibbs and wins the Xfinity race, case in point, at Iowa Speedway. So we'll see how it goes. Good points made by our buddy Dave Angie from the Johnson City Press. Be co-hosting 2 weeks from today the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview. Can't wait. We're going to have contributing folks coming in and helping give us some really solid and thorough previews of our local college teams, Virginia Tech, East Tennessee State, of course Knoxville, the Tennessee Volunteers, and of course high school as well. So it's all going to be good coming up again, as we said, starting 2 weeks from today, right here in the showroom, Champion Chevrolet. High school football, Dave's going to cover the Big East Conference, and Doug Fritz has been gracious enough to say, yeah, I want to help out and contribute to some of the other big games of the week in high school football. So we've had some scrimmages. They're out there practicing very diligently right now in full force high school football. So what are you hearing right now, big guy, about high school football?
Well, there was a pretty good clash last week. Dobyns-Bennett and Elizabethton got after it, and 2 of the top teams around here, and people are going to be really excited about both of them. A lot of buzz around that scrimmage. Dobyns-Bennett was going to scrimmage Tennessee High tomorrow night. They've moved that to tonight because of the weather forecast for tomorrow. They don't want anything to mess that up, in terms of them getting on the field and getting to play. That's another kind of marquee scrimmage. Science Hill last week against Crockett went out there, and Crockett was impressive at times, but Science Hill's athleticism is unreal, from all accounts. And they've got a couple running backs there that apparently just stole the show, just ran wild in that scrimmage. And I think they're, with a good line, good quarterback, good backs, there's a lot of expectations about how good the Science Hill offense is going to be this year, and they showed that last week. So it's just it's a great time of year. They're getting out there, they're hitting, they're getting after it, and it's just right around the corner. You can almost see it from here.
So who won the Elizabeth and DB tussle, in your humble opinion? What have you heard?
Depends on which fan base.
Exactly.
I've heard a couple different accounts of that one, but I gather that it was a pretty good, pretty competitive matchup there. In Elizabethton, they're not scared of the bigger schools.
No.
Sean Witten's done a wonderful job there, and they'll line up and hit anybody. They're not scared, and they have some excellent athletes on their team, and they're really strong up front. So it'll be fun to see how far they can go this season.
College football. We're in high gear for training, of course, getting ready for the upcoming seasons right around the corner. Most of the teams will kick it in on Labor Day weekend on September the 2nd and 3rd. Some of the teams, some will start before that, but it's right around the corner. And what are you hearing about your beloved Michigan Wolverines right now?
Oh, man, they put pads on for the first time today. So it got real. It got real up there today in Ann Arbor. So, I'll tell you, they're going to be a young team, but the most athletic and one of the most exciting Michigan teams in quite a while, from all accounts. Could be a lot of freshmen out there, which that's really become a trend in college football. We've seen a lot of teams in recent years, Florida State being one, Ohio State being another, where they've been able to get freshmen on the field and get a lot out of them right away. And the recruiting class we just had a lot of guys in there who could be really highly regarded, especially at the wide receiver position. So experience at quarterback, I think we're going to be okay. It's going to be fun. We're going to find out early, though, against Florida. That'll be a fun ball game.
Urban Meyer smarting up in Columbus after the 31-0 shellacking he took against Clemson. I think I read where he's never ever, or very few times he's ever been shut out as a head coach. So apparently I know some folks up in Columbus, and they said it's all business, a whole different approach this year, even more intense than normal for the Buckeyes. So he's got something to prove because he got embarrassed on national television.
Yeah, and that's not all that good for Urban Meyer. I think, and trying to be as impartial as possible. But I will say, I think where Urban Meyer got himself in trouble with burnout in Florida is when he buckled down too hard. I think, being a college football coach, I think you have to be a little bit more loose. And I think for Urban Meyer and his personality type, I think that he really was getting a lot of results when he kind of loosened up a little bit. And he changed his approach when he went to Ohio State from what it was when he was in Florida. He really suffered some burnout the last few years, and his teams really showed that. So, I'm sure he's mindful of that as he's looking to maybe get a little tougher this year. But you have to remember, that's a team that had a really, really good football season, and they had one disappointing final game. So, sometimes you can't go and rewrite the playbook when it goes wrong for you on one particular Saturday. So it'll be interesting to see if that's something that carries into this season for that team.
Oklahoma quarterback Chris Robinson, again dismissed from the team. Again, violation of team rules. Four-star member of Oklahoma's 2017 recruiting class. Lincoln Riley, the new coach, says, you're gone. The Alabama big hog up front, and he got arrested for DUI. So this is the time of year, you talked about this a couple of weeks ago, this is the time of year, well, they're back in camp now, but over the last 3 or 4 weeks, coaches cringe because these guys had a little freedom, and boys will be boys, and some of them went out and did some things wrong. So this kid's gone again for the Oklahoma Sooners, one of the stars of the recruiting class of last year. So he's out, and so they got to move on. And apparently they have no shortage of quarterbacks. So you've got, of course, Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray, transfer from Texas A&M. So I believe they're going to be okay, but still hate to see this kid get in trouble. He's no longer on the team, and the Alabama, some of the other schools have been making fun of Saban in the Facebook, going, okay, what's he going to do this time? Smack him on the hand? Because apparently the reputation out there is that he's not too tough when these guys get in trouble.
Yeah, it's kind of the old Bobby Bowden thing. I remember a few times, and it may have been Janikowski when he was there and got in some trouble and got suspended or maybe not suspended at all for the bowl game. And he said, I can't. He goes out and does something dumb. If I don't let him play, it's going to penalize the whole team. And the rest of these guys, they didn't do anything. I'm not going to penalize all of them for something they didn't do. So, that was pretty creative. But Saban. But to Saban's credit, you don't see the widespread problems at Alabama that you see at other schools. You look down at Ole Miss; they just had to suspend a couple more players down there, and they're in the middle of an investigation about lack of institutional control. And you got a couple more guys that you're going and trying to suspend. It's like every time you turn around, they're putting out fires down there, and that just doesn't help things. So for Alabama, they haven't had any widespread problems there. You look at Oklahoma, I think. This is something where there's been some criticism there about how they've penalized their players in the past, when they've gotten in trouble. So I think they really sent a message here, especially with a new coach, sending a message saying, okay, we're not tolerating anything, and everybody else needs to get the message and fall in line, and we're gonna clean things up.
Pretty forgiving society we live in. So going forward, if you're a chancellor in the next couple of years, do you take a chance on Hugh Freeze, or is he done?
Oh my goodness, he's going to be out of the mix for a while. I think nobody's going to touch him, first of all, until the NCAA investigation's finished. That's just how it works. So because you got to know whether it's going to be a show cause situation or what the deal is with him. And like I've said about Ole Miss for a while, it's going to be pretty serious when it all comes down. So, I think that he's a guy that, we've seen some coaches though come back who have, ended up as offensive analysts at Alabama. That seems to be a popular place to go and kind of get yourself back in the straight and narrow. But I think you're looking at probably minimum 3 years until he's, given an opportunity again, maybe even as an assistant. And that'll be just dependent upon whatever the NCAA finds.
Well, any school should take a page out of Tennessee's book, because they hired Donnie Tyndall from Southern Miss, and he brought baggage with him, and now they'd let him go for that. Yeah. And he's still under the microscope, if you will, of the NCAA. So, yeah, Hugh Freeze, till it all is sorted out, and it could be years. There's lawsuits pending, and I think he was going to try and go get after Houston Nutt, and Nutt was going to go back after him, the former Ole Miss coach before him. So there's a lot going on down in Oxford, and again, very, very tough for a very storied institution. But I'm like you. If I was the chancellor, I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole for a while till we see where he's going to end up on out of all these allegations. I know you got to run. Gosh, what are you working on right now at the Johnson City Press?
Johnson City Cardinals tonight.
JC Cardinals.
I'm going to the ballpark.
Going to be at the ballpark.
Go see.
With a dog and a soda.
I think I'm going to go up to Stony Creek tomorrow, see how Unaca's doing up there. They have their media day. Gonna talk to their new coach up there, who's been doing a good job. I hear their numbers are up. They got a lot of kids out, so a lot of excitement. It'll be fun to get up that way. Then Saturday morning, Science Hill Media Day. Yeah, they're so I'm going to go up close and personal, see what's going on over at Science Hill.
Science Hill, the Hilltopper.
I've heard some good things, seen some good things. It's going to be fun to kind of get to the bottom of it over there.
You ready to do this thing in 2 weeks?
I'm fired up.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's football season.
You got it. Thud's going to be here in 2 weeks for the Champion Chevrolet 5-star football preview, co-hosted by he and he, and I can't wait. Taters.
All right, man.
Thank you, man. Good job. Quick break. We'll be right back. Andy will close it out next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, Try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Going to wrap this puppy up again. Andy, they're over. And I'll tell you what, I like it because they can't get here. He can't get here because they're doing deals. So he said, I'm slammed, I'm covered up. I got 2-3 things going, and I totally get that. Commerce comes first, but that tells you what's going on here at Champion Chevrolet, the model year closeout. How'd they do that? Well, they're doing it left and right over there. I can tell you there's deals going, and I know Kristen was here for a little while. She had to get back upstairs to internet sales, so it's a busy time right here at Champion Chevrolet. Let me run these down for you real quick before we get out of here. All the Cruises are 25% off right now here at Champion Chevrolet. All Malibus right off the top. You walk in off the street, on the lot rather. $5,500 off all Malibus. The Sonic LTs, 25% off MSRP. The Impala LTs, 22% off the sticker price. Also, the Trax, they just said, hey, it's a flat $5,000 off when you walk in to buy a new Trax, again, from Champion Chevrolet. 2017 Equinox, $5,000 off those. The Traverses, again, another $5,000 off again, the Traverses here at Champion Chevrolet. How did they do that? I don't know how they do that, but they do it. I can tell you that. Number one Chevy dealer in the state, right here in East Tennessee, between Mountain City and Memphis. Nobody sells more Chevys than Champion Chevrolet. In the trucks, Crew Cab, 1LT All-Stars, $11,000 off the sticker. Crew Cab LT PDUs, $6,500 off the sticker. Also, the Crew Cab LTZ Sport Package, $11,000 off again. Crew Cab High Country and LTZ without the Sport Package. This is the Crew Cab High Country Package and the LTZ without the Sport Package, $10,000 off. You're looking for a truck, here's the place to come. And then the Double Cab All-Stars, the 1LT and the 2 LTs, $9,000 off again here at Champion Chevrolet. So those are the deals. And of course, you can go to the website. Again, as we've told you many, many times, call them at 282-2121. I know the phone's been ringing here this morning while we've been here. And again, the Champion Chevrolet website, always have to pull out the old, it's championjc.com. So there I got on the old key ring. Got me one of those and I bought my car. Ain't that cool? Champion Chevrolet, the bow ties. So we've had a good run. We want to say thanks to our guest. Of course, Kristen Martin came here on behalf of the Internet Sales here at Champion. Thank you very much. Whitney McLaughlin, the brand new Executive Director of CASA. Thank you, Whitney, for stopping by talking about her golf tournament. Also, Carmichael joined us, as only he could, and also my buddy Dave Angie from the Johnson City Press. Hope you'll join us tonight. We'll come back and do some live Facebook here on the Sports Show Facebook page a little bit later on. We're going to be live at the Putt-Putt St. Jude's Putt-Putt Golf Tournament in Kingsport on Stone Drive. Starts at 5 o'clock. We got Benny Wilson. We've got Ivy Road. We've got Asylum Suite over there playing in concert while we're playing Putt-Putt. Got the 50-50 bucket where you throw money in the pot, and 50, let's see. Why don't you go ahead and answer that right there? That'd be good. Why don't you go ahead and talk to my man? He'll be able to help you. This is live. Anyway, you got the 50-50 bucket, put money in the pot, and you got 50, again, that goes to you, and 50 goes to St. Jude's. There's all kinds of, oh gosh, you name it, all kinds of silent auction items. All the food's been donated. They're going to be cooking hamburgers and hot dogs, platters over there. When you buy those, it all goes into the kitty because all the food's been donated. This is going to be a wonderful time tonight. Registration starts at 5. Tournament starts at 6. 4-person team, captain's choice, $25 a person, $100 a team. Again, entertainment by Benny Wilson, Ivy Road, and Asylum Suite. We'll be over there on behalf of the Gold Wing Riders Association, Tennessee Chapter C, at the 8th Annual Putt-Putt Tournament, and we'll do that again a little bit later on the season. We'll be over there for a little while, and so we're looking forward to walking around with the old Facebook on the cell phone and doing a little recording for the Putt-Putt. I shot a robust 84 last week on Putt-Putt. That's not something we'll get it done, is it, shooting 84? Dave said, not making the cuts. I don't think I'll play tonight. I think I'm going to get out there and show how good I am tonight. I ain't going to just walk around and interview people and leave them playing to somebody else. But hey, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Back at it tomorrow. We'll be live again at Food City on Eastman Road. Got a full slate of guests coming tomorrow, including Courtney Connor from Grip. We've also got some folks at Kingsport Speedway. You got them loaded up, ready to go tomorrow. We'll be live at Food City on Eastman Road in Kingsport at Mark Hubbard store. So we'll see you then, or see you tonight at the Putt Putt right around 6 o'clock on Stone Drive in Kingsport. Hey, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. As always, we'll tell you as we close out show number 571, win or lose, be a good sport. And thanks for giving us a watch and a listen. Like us and share us, and these are archived. Go back and watch when you want. So thanks again for the folks here at Champion Chevrolet sponsoring the Tom Taylor Sports Show here on this Thursday, August the 3rd, 2017. Till tonight or tomorrow, we'll greet you again. So long, everybody.